Please open your video if possible. We are reading from Bhagavad, Ch-6 chapter, Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyan Yoga. Now, Yogi. Our Yogi is seeing Paramatma Priya. Jumang Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Chamai Pashyati Tashyana Pranashyami Shachamena Pranashyati. Prabhupada lecture.
All circumstances. But all is nothing.
Okay. I was hearing lecture on this verse in Srila Prabhupada. So, Jumang Pashyati Sarvatra. This word is not so difficult. Jo, whoever, Ma, me, Pashyati, sees, Sarvatra, everywhere. Who sees me? Okay. Look at it. Sarvam, everywhere, everything, cha, and moi in me, Pashyati sees. Tasya for him, aham I, no, not. Pranashyami, am lost. Sahi, cha also me, to me, no, not. Pranashyati is lost. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Very nice thing. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, so I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So it is not Krishna's part, it is our part. If we never away from Krishna, then how Krishna can go away from us? A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere, and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance, he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Like a big company, you can see the presence of the owner everywhere. It is like this. Here people come with Jain. I say that we can see the presence of Bhakti Maharaj everywhere. So, in ISKCON also, Prabhupada are every systematic. We can see the Prabhupada's power everywhere. Prabhupada's teaching. So nice arrangement, so nice worship. Devotees so scholarly. So you can see everywhere Srila Prabhupada's presence. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna. A position transcendental even to material liberation. Krishna consciousness is the liberation from the liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee and devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee then exists. An intimate relationship between the Lord and devotee then exists. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of the sight of the devotee. So we may have read so many times, but it is a matter of realization. Prabhupada said, this is the sum and substance of Krishna consciousness. This is not only reading. Try to understand how much we have understood, realized. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. To merge in Krishna is a spiritual annihilation. In English, another word is spiritual suicide. A devotee takes no such risk. This person want to be equal with Krishna, but devotee want to be higher than Krishna. He become father and mother of Krishna. It is stated in Brahma Samhita, Prema Anjana Surita Bhakti Vilochanana Shanta Sadaiva Hridayeshi Vilokanit Jam Shamasundaram Achinta Gunasharupa Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship the primordial Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee, whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love, Premanjana Surita, anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shamsundar, situated within the heart of the devotee. When a mother sees some shoes, clothes of a child, by seeing that she can remember her child, devotee also, out of love of Krishna, he can see everything, everywhere Krishna. At this stage, Lord Krishna never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. I am reading last again. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee. What about pure devotee? He cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord within himself. Sarva bhuta sthitam jaman bhajati ekattam asthitam sarvatha vartamanapi sayogi moi vartate. Sarva bhuta sthitam, situated in everyone's heart. Ja, he who, ma, me, bhajati, serves in devotional service. Ekattam, in oneness. Asthito, situated. Sarvatha, in all respects. Vartamanaha, being situated. Opi, in spite of. Sa, he, yogi, the transcendentalist. Moi, in me, vartate, remains. Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the Supersoul, knowing that I and the Supersoul within all creatures are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. A yogi who is practicing meditation on the Supersoul sees within himself the plenary portion of Krishna as Vishnu, with 4 hands, holding conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. The yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Krishna, in this form of Supersoul, is situated in everyone's heart. Furthermore, there is no difference between the innumerable super souls present in the innumerable hearts of living entities. Nor is there a difference between a Krishna conscious person always engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation of the super soul. The yogi in Krishna consciousness, ever though he may be engaged in various activities while in material existence, remains always situated in Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhakti Samvita Sindhu. Iha jasya harer dasya karmana manasagira. Nikhilishu avasthavishu jivan mukta sahachat. In Bhakti Samvita Sindhu, Krishna said, Nikhilishu avasthashu. Nikhil, wherever you are remain, wherever in this world is situated, is called Jivan Mukta, Sauchyate. He is called a Jivan Mukta devotee. Jivan Mukta means he is liberated in this same body. Jivan Mukta. A devotee of the Lord, always acting in Krishna consciousness, is automatically liberated. If someone is serving the king, he is not in the jail. When serving the king, that means he is already liberated. When someone is serving Krishna, he is already liberated. In the Narad Pancharatra, this is confirmed in this way. Di kaladi anavachinne Krishna cheto vidhayacha tanmayo bhavati kipram jiva brahmani jojoyet. By concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is all-pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then attains the happy state of transcendental association with him. Jivo Brahmani Jayate, that Jiva is transcendentally situated. Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of trance in yoga practice. This very understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart makes the yogi faultless. The Vedas confirm this inconceivable eko bahudha jo avabhati. Eko bahudha jo avabhati. Although the Lord is one, he is present in your hearts as many. Eko Bahuda Jababhat. You just for remembering. Eko the sun, Suraj, sun. So sun is one, you can see. That misunderstand this verse. Just for remembering. Like example of sun. The sun, though is one, but you can see all it water or mirror everywhere. Although the Lord is one, he is present in innumerable hearts as many. Similarly, in Shruti Shastra, it is said, Ekopi Paro Vishnu, Sarvepi na Samshaya, Vaisharjat Rupam Ekam Chal, Surjavat Bahudhyate, Surjavat. This example we have given before, Surjavat like sun. Vishnu is one. Eko eva para Vishnu. Vishnu is one. And yet he is certainly all-pervading. Sarvavepi na samshaya. Though he is one, he is all-pervading. By his inconceivable potency, Vaisharja, through his Vaisharja, his inconceivable potency, Vaisharjat Rupam Ekam Cha. By his inconceivable potency, in spite of his one, he is present everywhere. How to understand? Ushyadat rupam ekocha. Though is one, is different. Like Surjavat bahu dheyate. As the sun appears in many places at once. Verse 32. Atmaupanna sarvatra samam pashyati jorjuna sukham va yadiva dukkham sajogi param. Atma upamanna. Atma with self. Upamanna is upama. Upama means example, comparison. Atma upamanna. By comparison with this his self. Sarvatra everywhere. Samam equally pashyati sees. Ja, he who, Arjuna, Arjuna. Sukham va yadiva dukkham. Sukham, happiness. Va or, jadi if, va or. Dukkham, distress. Sha, such, yogi transcendentalist. Parama, perfect, mataha, is considered. He is a perfect yogi who by comparison to his own self sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress or joy. I'm reading again. He is a perfect yogi who by comparison to his own self sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress or joy. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. The cause of the distress of a living entity is forgetfulness of his relationship with God. And the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all activities of human being. The proprietor of all land and planets. Now we are thinking, I am the Lord and Master of all is happy. But we see Krishna is the proprietor of all lands and planets and the sincerest friend of all living entities. What is this verse? 529. Bhaktarang Yoggata Prashant, the supreme enjoyer of all activities. Sarvalokam Maheshwaram, proprietor of all lands, and Shuddham Sarvabhutana, sincerest friend of all living entities. The perfect yogi knows that the living being who is conditioned by the modes of material nature is subjected to the threefold material miseries due to forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. And because one in Krishna consciousness is happy, he tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. As he is happy, that is why he wants to see everyone is happy. That is why he preaches. Since the perfect yogi tries to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna consciousness, he is the best philanthropist in the world. And he is the dearest servitor of the Lord. So, best philanthropist and dearest servitor of the Lord. Wow, what would you want? You become most dear to the whole world and most dear to Lord also. Krishna personally told Bhagavad. Nacha tasmat manusyashi koshit na priyagatava. In other words, the devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all living entities. And in this way, he is actually the friend of everyone. He is the best yogi because he does not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but he tries to others also. He tries for others also. He does not envy his fellow living entities. But why people are saying, yogi may think like that. Oh, I should be more powerful yogi than him. I'm more powerful. But devotees are not like that. Here is a contrast between a pure devotee of the Lord and the yogi interested only in his personal elevation. The yogi who has withdrawn to a secluded place in order to meditate perfect as a devotee who is trying his best to turn every man toward Krishna consciousness. By hearing all these things, looks very nice. But think about practicality of this yoga. Very nice purpose was given, but it's Ashtanga Yoga. Here, Prabhupada, actually in the purport, already he is explaining the importance of bhakti. But in the verses mainly giving the how difficult the Ashtanga Yoga process is. But Prabhupada in all his purport is giving how much better the bhakti than Ashtanga Yoga process. Here, we need to understand why Arjuna is telling like that. Because Prabhupada in his purport has given already as conclusion. But if we read Shlok only, like we can see the verse. He is a perfect yogi who with comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress. Oh, Arjuna. This type of instruction, it's very nice to hear, but if we think to implement in our life, it's really struggle. How to do that? We can say, you have to live even to your enemy. Good, nice instruction, but it's not so easy to practice. Good devotee should be equal to all. He friendly even to his enemy. Good, but how to practice that? But when we become devotee, they're not difficult. But the yogi, so difficult process here saying. But Prabhupada already in purport said, when he's practicing yoga, he'll be envious to others also. But devotee are not like. But we are not going that side. Krishna is explaining how difficult the yoga process is. Like you can do this or you can go this way or you can go this way. But in this way, if you go very troublesome, it may takes 1 month or 2 months, and river and some forest also, you will not get vehicle also. But in this way, you can go 2 hours, vehicle is ready. So there is two paths are there. But this type of experience shows that it is not practical. The same thing, Krishna, why explaining to Arjuna all these things? Because sometimes people know I may be qualified for that. If we don't read all these things, if we don't all the answer of this, then and this people may think, oh, this is a less intelligent person. That is why they are performing both. They will qualified, literate person. Then they would have accepted Ashtanga Yoga system. We are hearing Ashtanga Yoga system not for practicing. We are hearing all these things not to be allured by that in future also. Now we are doing bhakti, somebody may get allurement. Oh, you are doing bhakti for a long time. What are you getting? Do Ashtanga Yoga, you will become like Ashtasiddhi, you will get this, all these things. So we should not be allured by that. That is why we should know all this. Now, Krishna, Arjuna will ask, Krishna, whatever you said is good, but I think it is not practical for me. So if we, whatever hearing, if we are not feeling that type of thing, oh, not practical for me. Why not thinking? Because we are hearing, we are not accepting the instruction. When we are reading all these things, or hearing all these things, try to implement at that time. Then I know it is not practical for you. Like I can see from verse 11, from where he starts for Ashtanga Yoga, Shucho Deshe Pratishthapo Sthiram Ashanam. Then Tattva Monokitta. Sammakayo Shriva Grivam. Head, neck, body. And Ashan Chailajana Kushuttaram. Ajin, here is skin. Oh no, it is not practical. Understand how much difficult is this. When Krishna is telling you can perform Ashtanga this way, this way, this way, this way, and by hearing that you want to practice this way, then you easily understand, no, it is not practical for me. So Arjun, we want to become intelligent. Chalak sheke dekhe, murkho sheke thok. We want to learn from Arjuna's realization. Arjun said not practical. So we can read this. Okay, so better understanding that in future we should not be allured by this Ashtanga Yoga or Gyan Yoga process. We have to understand fully that Krishna consciousness is the best. In 22nd verse in this chapter, Jang labdhacha aparar labham na mannat adhikata. By getting that, there is nothing there which is better than this path. Okay, Gaurang Bhakta has raised hand.
Hare Krishna Maharaja, Pranam. Thank you so much for this relation class. Maharaj, I want to ask that in purpose Srila Prabhupada wrote that after taking the darshan of Paramatma in her, the yogi turns into a pure devotee. So my question is, many people ask that why Duryodhan and Dushashan, they also took the darshan of Krishna, but they did not turn into a pure devotee. So what is the reason of that? So what should we understand by
that thing this yogis saying is different. Yogi who wants to see the Lord, if you see big person, what will happen? You not want to serve him? And someone sitting with you. I think my internet is weak. Like a yogi when sees Paramatma inside. If you see Lord in front of you, what will you do? Immediately bow down? You don't want to serve? That is a natural process. But this is an unfortunate, like normally milk. Is nutritious food. But for a snake, in travel, so Krishna doesn't want that we should continue. Shri Prabhupada, Go.